Hi, and welcome to another community chat. Tonight I've got with me Lindsay Hermann, who has been a gun dog trainer for 10 years. And she trains just outside, well, in between Bakewell and Buxton in North Derbyshire. So if you want to check Lindsay out, her website is Paws and Play Gundogs. Is that .co.uk, Lindsay?
It's just pawsandplay.online.
All right, Paws and Play .online. There we are.
Yeah, Paws and Play Gundogs is a social media
cool.
tag.
So
yeah.
if you just look up, find Lindsay on Facebook. That's the easiest thing. Facebook and TikTok.
Yeah. Instagram.
Instagram. There we go. Shows how good at social media I am. Okay, so Beyond the Breed event team have been lucky enough to do so far 3 workshops where Lindsay is based, and we are booked to go for another 3 in 2024. We're so excited about that. So if you want some further information on Lindsay's weekend courses for functional characters, then please get in touch either through the community or get in touch with Lindsay or Beyond the Breed direct. So how did you first discover functional characters, Lindsay?
In 2017 I bought a dog, which was a fox-fed Labrador, Hobbs, and when it became an adolescent intact male, he was kind of displaying a bit of reactivity issues, more fear-based than anything else. Also a little bit of your typical adolescent male traits of maybe running up to another dog and what I know that you now call splatting a dog occasionally. Not every dog, not all dogs, just the odd one here and there. And I was a bit like, well, what's happening here? Why is he doing this to only certain dogs and not all of them? And I didn't want to kind of go down the typical general dog reactivity kind of because he's reactive in his aggressive label. So I kind of started to research alternative options, and I came across Isla Fishburne. She talked about a little bit of, I looked on her website and looked at alternative ways that why he could be reacting, why he was. And she mentioned about canine functional characters. And she mentioned about yourself, and to get in touch with you and help me because you were quite local. And that was it really. And then and also then by knowing the theory of each different character, you can actually understand them a little bit more. And it's not just a reactive dog, it could be their character that's actually making them react the way that they are.
Yeah. So when you discovered Hobbs's functional character, I know that took us a couple of goes because he is rather confusing.
Yeah.
But during that process, did you have any surprises or any aha moments?
Not necessarily surprises, but more clarification as to why he's doing what he's doing. So like you say, it took us a couple of sessions to actually understand that he was can I say it? I don't know if I can say it.
You can say it.
Yeah, so to find out why he was a low confident defender, we did take a couple of sessions to work that out. So it wasn't necessarily a aha moment because I think I had read the book by that point as well, but it was more just clarification. So right, okay, so that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's not just being an aggressive dog, he's actually defending or he's protecting whatever he was being reactive for. So whether it's the house, whether it's somebody walking towards me, my personal space, things like that. So it was more that kind of clarification really than anything else.
And it does give us a better idea of what situations we can and can't put our dogs in, and it also helps us to potentially it gives us the information to say to people, look, my dog is not aggressive. It's a word that I hate because it's very emotive. I prefer to call it reactive. So he's not reactive just for the sake of reactivity. He's reactive because of the way he is internally.
Yeah.
So the knowledge has really quite helped with your own dogs then, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely giving me a little bit of probably like a bit of peace almost, because at one point, especially being a trainer and having a reactive dog, there's a bit of like, trainers have to have the perfect dog. Well, no, they can't. I've had a couple in the past as well that haven't been perfect because of, I think, their functional character. So I think it's, by understanding my own dog, it's just giving me a little bit of peace of going, actually, that's who he is, and actually I can manage him because I know what he is. I can manage the situations, like you say, I can put him in. I can try and work out other dogs that are coming about so he doesn't splat them. So if I can obviously see an overseer, I know he's going to react to that dog and not necessarily like it, so I can actually pull him away from that situation. I know he's never really been good with puppies, so again, I can keep him out of my puppy classes and stuff like that and not use him as a stooge dog for puppy classes. And so it's helped me in that sense, just to help him a lot more as well. And when we were thinking about getting a third dog, it also helped me know that actually he's a defender. I've got Ellie, who's my little cocker, who we labelled as a peacekeeper. So then when we came to get Tully, it was quite good to know actually what complements the two characters, and which ones wouldn't be best suited and which ones would actually be better suited. So it was quite good for that as well.
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest benefits of knowing what we've got in our own social group currently, particularly if we're going to get another addition. So would you say the knowledge has helped you also in your business world as well, in the dog training classes?
I think from the couple of workshops you've done at ours, and obviously a lot of my clients have come to the workshops, it's good to know, for me to know what their dogs are. Going forward, it's definitely going to help me, because I'll be able to go, right, you can work with that person, but you can't actually work with that person. So it's going to help with group dynamics a little bit. And like, for example, if a certain dog isn't doing certain things, or it's getting distracted by movement, then that could be a potential hunter, and this is why your dog's doing this. And rather than the owner actually getting hung up on their dog and getting frustrated by the dog, I can actually go, right, your dog may be doing this because it could be an X or a Y characteristic. So I think it'll help with groups. It'll definitely help with my one-to-one clients, because I can take a look. If it's an obvious one, then I can say, right, you potentially have got a hunter or a defender, and this is how you can help your dog, and this is what might happen, this is what you can expect from your dog going forward and stuff like that. So I think it will definitely help going forward for sure.
And I find that when you can explain to a client why their dog is doing what they're doing, and that they're not being aggressive or reactive or any of the other labels that other people want to put on their dogs, I think it's a relief for them, but also really helpful that we can say, right, don't put your dog in this situation and avoid these kind of dogs. Not that you always know what functional character is approaching you on a dog walk, but I think it gives owners or dog guardians a real sense of ownership of what is actually happening, and they can just relax then and know how to take things forward, which I think is hugely beneficial for them.
Oh, it definitely has been for me, especially with Hobbs, because I know what situation's going to make him explode, so to speak, and I know what situations there's actually going to be okay in. I've definitely relaxed a lot more with him since knowing his functional character, for sure. And even with Ellie, who's a peacekeeper, before we gave her a flavor, I always just thought she was just me, like all like interrupting, like if I was cuddling Hobbs or anything like that, she'd always interrupt it and get in between. And actually, because she's a peacekeeper, it could have just been she's read that situation as a bit of more of a confrontation than a cuddle, for example, so she's got in between. And since knowing that of her, the interactions between Tully and Hobbs, my puppy, and my defender, Ellie's actually been interrupting when Hobbs has been grumbling at Tully to back off, and Tully's not been listening. Ellie's actually interrupted it and taken Tully away, which has been lovely to actually watch. And rather than it being me, I've got actually now, I've known now it's actually her peacekeeping, not play with me kind of thing. So it's nice. It's really good to understand it.
Yeah. And then when you do understand this, even at a basic level, watching dogs becomes then much more interesting because what you would have seen as just play is now, oh wow, look what they're actually saying to each other. It's really amazing. It brings everything to life, doesn't it? Completely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I proper geek out on it now. More than I did before.
So what's your greatest wish, Lindsay, for the world of dogs in the years to come?
Oh God. For I suppose for more people to actually get on board and understand their dogs a lot better. I think a lot of owners just see dogs as dogs. I know that might be a little bit controversial, but I do think a lot of owners just see dogs as dogs and they don't really understand why they do what they do. So I think if more people could kind of actually start to understand dogs a lot more and get on board with understanding that actually it's not just a dog, it's an individual. And this is why your dog does this. I think we'll have a lot better kind of dog community, and there won't be as many dogs in rescue centres and getting rehomed, because actually more owners will actually understand the dogs, why they do what they're doing, and it's not actually a reactive dog. Also, I suppose for breeders to get on board so they can actually allocate the right dog to the right home. I think that's where also sometimes it can go potentially wrong if breeders can get on board as well. And I think and I suppose for me, I compete with my dogs, and knowing how your dogs tick, how they train, can also help you get the most out of your dog's training. So like I think you've mentioned before, like with Hobbs, he can, because he's a defender, he will drill quite well. He'll repeat. Whereas with Tully, she's potentially a follower, I think we think she is, where she can only do maybe get them 2 or 3 reps, and then she gets a little bit bored. So me knowing that about her, I can actually go, right, we'll do X, Y, and Z, and then we're going to stop, rather than pushing it and she goes sloppy. And again, that's where people get frustrated with the dogs. I see it in class where people get frustrated with the dogs and mad at the dogs because they won't do it after 3 reps and they blame the dog. Well, actually, if you understand why, then it's a lot more relaxed and you actually understand your dog a lot better. So I think more people should get on board with it. And I think it's also good for, I think, like I said, with my own dog as well, if people can, people with more dogs than just the one, so like a multiple household, if they can get on board, they can actually complement their household, like we've said before. So I think, I don't know if that answers your question. I've just babbled a bit, but I think just for more people to get on board, so there's less dogs in rescue, I think, and a greater understanding of dogs.
There's a lot of work to do, but then the amount of people that you're getting every time at a workshop, we are spreading the word really well, certainly in North Derbyshire, the surrounding area, for those for those that do come to it. I've referred recently quite a few people to Paws and Play, but I've said Paws and Play Gundogs. But I'm sure if people put Paws and Play, ask the Google for Paws and Play, I'm sure that you come up first. Because
I think even if you put in Paws and Play Gundogs, I think I come up. So I should be there.
So if anybody's interested in attending a workshop in North Derbyshire, then please get in touch with either Lindsay or Beyond the Breed, and we look forward to meeting you soon. So we'll see you in another community chat at a later stage. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you.